Joining me now, Christopher Rufo, Senior Fellow at the Manhattan Institute, author of America's Cultural Revolution, who was pivotal in kind of discovering a lot was going on with Claudine Gay and her plagiarism, and Victor Davis Hanson, a Senior Fellow at the Hoover Institution. Chris, as I said, you're one of the big reasons why Ms. Gay's plagiarism was exposed and why this is a win that she's out of this position. There's so much more to be discussed and to be rooted out here, is there not?
Yeah, that's right. Certainly, this was my initial goal to topple President Gay from the presidency of Harvard. But Harvard has to go much further. Harvard needs to abolish its DEI programs. It needs to put a permanent end to its racist admission system. It needs to pledge institutional neutrality on controversial political issues. And it needs to diversify the faculty, not on skin color, but on philosophy, on political belief, on viewpoints. That's really what Harvard needs to do to start rebalancing the institution. Our reporting on Claudine Gay's plagiarism, on her DEI empire, and on her absolutely botched handling of the campus anti-Semitism controversy shows that the institutions are weak, their ideology is a failure, and we're just getting started in this campaign for reform.
Yeah, Victor, I think it's important that people don't claim like a premature victory here. While this is very important, that's why I decided to do the show tonight. It's very, very important. This is just one person at one university that happens to be Harvard. But tell us about what you know about how deep this really goes in the American educational psyche.
Well, it's institutionalized, and people who speak out against it are punished. And they have a fundamental contradiction, Laura, because they all claim they're preeminent and they're hyper-meritocratic, and they're not. And because they base decisions on hiring and retention and scholarship and admissions on race. And then when you're lying like that, then the lies are not the end, they begin. So in this case with Gay, she lied, I'm fortunate to say that, but numerous times she said that she had been proactive about the plagiarism. She was always reactive. She never was proactive. She said that she had the highest standards of scholarship her whole life. She started this data misinformation and plagiarism when she was a graduate student writing her dissertation. She said that she couldn't speak out against anti-Semitism because of the First Amendment. She speaks about everything and violates the First Amendment anytime that it's any question other than anti-Semitism. And then she said that she even brought up the race card, as did the Harvard Corporation, when race was a reason that she was hired, not because she was fired.
Right.
And then the corporation really disgraced themselves. They played the race card, and then they kind of made a snark about it got out in the public domain. We're the public domain. We were the ones that give them a tax-exempt endowment income. We're the ones that give them millions of dollars in federal research. We're the ones that give them guaranteed student loans, and all of a sudden they're snarky about the public domain. As if we're Hicks or something. They're really arrogant.
Well, Chris, what's stunning to some, but not to probably us, is that it's not like she's separated from the university. She loses the top job, but she remains, Chris?
Yeah, the left takes care of its own. So she will be demoted back down to a professorship at Harvard. She'll be allowed to retain that for now, although there are some serious questions that this plagiarism, the sheer quantity, 40-plus instances of plagiarism, could also jeopardize her tenure, could also jeopardize her professorship. But the real thing to understand, Laura, is that as conservatives, it's not just about getting rid of Claudine Gay as president of Harvard. It's about reshaping the incentives around elite culture. Harvard's corporation board members are craven individuals. They will blow whichever way the wind goes. And so it's important that we are the wind, that we take control of the set of cultural incentives that determine the elite consensus. If we can change that, if we can shame people when they need to be shamed, if we can encourage people where they need to be encouraged, we can start to reformulate these institutions that, as Dr. Hanson said so gracefully, have been institutionalized with this DEI ideology.
Well, Victor, also the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion movement is intertwined with anti-Americanism and I think anti-Semitism. The BLM was kind of part of this, very Marxist roots. And this is sadly what's become of these once incredible and still in some ways great institutions, yet badly, badly damaged. I mean, for self-preservation, they've got to ditch this stuff.
Yeah, but they can't because they're so wedded to it. So all they do is keep lying. And so what do you do when you say that DEI is not racist? You start to have racist segregated graduations, racist segregated safe spaces, racist segregated dorms. And then they have to come up with this Orwellian language to hide the lies. They call them theme houses when they're segregated. Or did you notice, Laura, when they were plagiarizing, they went first to duplicative language, and now they've even gone beyond that and called it missteps. Yeah. And now they have this lie that they're going to be stuck with a professor who's a plagiarist when they're expelling 40 or 50 students or disciplining them for far less egregious plagiarism. That's not sustainable, and they know it.
Yeah, guys, if you dress up as an Indian on Thanksgiving and you're like a member of the lacrosse team, I mean, you're lucky to get a job after school in some of these places, right? But you're the president of Harvard, and it's just, oh, you have a chance to kind of correct this, and we're going to move on. Well, that didn't work out. Chris and Victor, both of you are so important in this discussion. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.